303. How you guys doing? I'm doing good, I am on my way to take mother around and do what she got to do. But before we get started, remember, all things on this channel is alleged, in my opinion. It is for learning, it is for teaching, it is for sheer entertainment when entertainment applies, okay? And right now, this is not entertainment, this is reality, because this is what we do. Update on Shanquella Robinson and Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner is on her way home. She is on her plane as we speak. She should be arriving soon from Russia, and she is doing well, okay? So we shall be hearing more about that whenever she gets here. I'm pretty sure she's going to be bombarded with interviews and all that. So welcome home, Brittney Griner. And for the ones who say she shouldn't have been released, she's released, okay? She's here. All right, she's an American citizen just like you. And if you were over there, you'll be wanting somebody to come get you too. So don't be speaking on something that you know nothing about, okay? Stop hating on people. Stop putting them down, all right? We all know if she was something else, this will be a celebration. But it's a celebration to us. Welcome home, Brittney Griner, all right? Even though you shouldn't have been over there with that mess, you know better. But anyway, welcome home. So next is Shanquella Robinson. Baby, we got to talk, okay, you guys? We're just talking factual here. I'm not talking about rumors. I'm not talking about none of that. I am talking about timelines. And I honestly think people saying Gerardo Zuniga was a fraud, it's all because his timelines are off. And I'm going to tell you why his timelines are off. His timelines are off because he had the information way before we did, or way before we even knew anything about a timeline, okay? So listen, you guys, I went to Martin Luis Resurrected. He's a great YouTuber, broadcaster, always have great information. He stays up to date with this, and he said that, you know, Gerardo Zuniga was on, you know, the lead attorney. The lead attorney did an interview, and there was a piece of information that did not match up to the autopsy, okay? So this is what my opinion, you know, what I am observing, okay? He says that Karolina Omeres is the medical doctor who saw Shanquella that day. The Cabo 6 was there. She failed to treat Shanquella Robinson, okay? She failed to treat them. She listened to the friends who were not her immediate family. She didn't transport Shanquella to the hospital. No matter what the friends would say, you do what your medical license applies for you to do, is to cause no harm, and she caused harm, okay? And because of that, there is an unalived 25-year-old girl whose life is now in the hands of justice, okay? And in the mouths of YouTubers and Twitters and Instagrammers, TikTokers, all that, okay? And we're going to keep this going whether you like it or not. It's got to be justice, because this was an injustice, okay? Unjust act. So originally, as I told you guys, that Mexico did not, after the doctor announced this, and it was alcohol poisoning, and the Cabo 6 went home. But let's stop there. Let's stop there and let's compare. So after the doctor announced that Shanquella was unalive, the Cabo 6 then packed their things, after the authorities let them go, which they shouldn't have let them go. They should have been arrested policy and the way they operate in Mexico, they should have been arrested until it was investigated, but they weren't. They were let go. The Cabo 6 then allegedly took her money, her credit cards, booked another hotel near the airport. Now listen, this is where Gerardo Zuniga story doesn't match up, but it doesn't match up with the timeline, but what he's saying is true. Okay, so if you go back to the lead attorney, and the lead attorney was translating for Gerardo Zuniga, he said after the doctor had pronounced her, the Cabo 6 left the hotel, made another reservation at another hotel near the same place that they were, and left that next day. Okay, they actually left the day that they were supposed to leave, that Monday. Yes, they actually left. They took her money, they booked a room, and they took a flight out the day they were actually supposed to leave. Okay, they made it back to North Carolina. They brought Shanquella's belongings back to her mother. They sat there and told her, you know, what had happened, and was crying and, you know, just upset and making plans and conversing about what they were going to wear to Shanquella's funeral. Now, let's back that up a minute. Before they even got on the plane, Shanquella's mother said someone called her the day of Shanquella's demise and said they over there fighting that girl. Okay? And they hung up. They hung up, and she said she didn't recognize the voice. She didn't know who it was. So they had posted the video in real time on social media. Gerardo Zuniga said that the autopsy, she passed away on the 29th. The autopsy was made available on 11/8. He then started to investigate the autopsy and this whole thing, because there was another death in Cabo with Mr. Davis, and some of his contacts were saying, you're investigating this death of a 73-year-old man, but you should be investigating also the 25-year-old woman. And so they were like, what? He did not know. The timelines are off because guess what? 11/19 is when the story pretty much broke. Okay, that's when the videos came out with Gerald Jackson, and Gerardo Zuniga started doing his investigative work, looking on YouTube, interviewing families, interviewing friends, and all that. So we got a bunch of different timelines, and I think that's what's throwing us off. So we're going to get back to the doctor. So the doctor is now being investigated. She is also, you guys, still working at the hospital. Yes, she's still working at the hospital. She was on her Twitter. She did have a Twitter account. She is on LinkedIn. Her credentials are amazing. They said, you know, she has great reviews, saying that, you know, she was a great doctor. She gave inspirational quotes on her Twitter account, which is now private 100%. You can't even get in because people were tagging her with saying her name, Shanquella Robinson. You know, they were coming at her because she did nothing to protect Shanquella. Okay, and so now she's under investigation by the Mexican authorities. And I will assume maybe, well, she's a Mexican authority official and a resident, so she would be under investigation from the Mexican authorities for her play in that. Now, originally, the Mexican government said there was no foul, no play, that the family would have to go and get their own private investigator and autopsy. And then after the video came out, after the autopsy came out on 11/8, y'all got to remember 11/8 when the autopsy was revealed. And then the story just went viral like a week later. Okay? During that time, Shanquella's mom and dad was working diligently trying to get answers for their child. Okay? They were calling Mexican authorities. They were calling this. They were calling that. They didn't get any no way. And then Shanquella's father even said once he got someone that actually spoke English, and I think he said that was like the 9th or 10th of November when they finally got, her body back from Mexico. They had to pay like $5,000 to get her body back. The Cabo 6 said that they was trying to extort $5,000 or $6,000 from Shanquella's mom to say she need to go to a hospital. Shanquella's mom said that, she has insurance. And then, Khalil said, well, it might not cover here. They're saying to transport her there, she's going to need like $5,000. You know what? That was the money they was trying to get back and get home and spread out. Okay? Allegedly, in my opinion. So, you guys, like I said, it's a lot of things that's going on because the timelines are, off. For one, we know for a fact that Shanquella passed away on 10/29/2022. We know for a fact that there was an investigation that came about because the Cabo 6 called authorities. They called Karolina Omeres to the scene. She did nothing to help. She did not transport her to the hospital, okay? She pronounced Shanquella Robinson unalive at 17:57 military time, and regular time is 5:57, okay? The autopsy, which came out on 11/8, okay? 9 days after Shanquella's passing, all right? Stated that she suffered from a severed neck, where oscillation with her neck is out of place. So her spinal cord was decapitated, and she passed away 15 minutes after her initial injuries, which was also said by the autopsy could have been around 12 o'clock because the maid found her. The maid name is Lucy. She found her at 12 o'clock when she came to clean the villa. She was in rigor then. Okay, so the attack on Shanquella happened that morning. They left her after they realized that they had injured her. They demised a plan to go out on town, have a good time, and then when somebody found her, they knew the maid was coming. So when the maid found her and called her, they came back and said, oh, she was fine this morning. She just drank a little too much, and we told her we were going out, and she said, okay. We didn't know she was like this. That's when they planned to call the authorities. They called the authorities. Dr. Karolina Omeres showed up, tried to get a history on Shanquella. Then Khalil called the mom and said, look, she's got some alcohol poisoning going over, and they telling us it's going to be $5,000 to transport her to the hospital. Then Shanquella's mother said Shanquella has insurance. She should be okay to go to the hospital, right? Right. Then, that early that morning, Shanquella's mom got No, later that evening, she got a phone call from somebody she didn't know. Said they over there fighting that girl because in real time they had posted the fight. Then the Mexican authorities came. They did a a police report. Took their statement, let them go. When they were let go, they made another reservation at a hotel near the airport. They departed on the 31st that morning. As then, when they got back, because that was the 31st, so they came straight to Shanquella's mother's house, brought her belongings, no cell phone, none of that, okay? But her belongings, her clothing and stuff, pretending, lying, crying, and all that, okay? Lying and crying, saying that, you know, they were upset, there was alcohol poisoning. Khalil came from 11-1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? He came all that week. But guess what? 5th or the 6th, that's when Shanquella's dad found out his daughter died from a decapitated spinal injury with injuries 15 minutes after her demise. That's the 6th. Zuniga said he got the report. He started reporting around the 8th because there was a death of a 73-year-old African-American male. And he started reporting that on the 8th. He had inside sources saying that, well, there's a 25-year-old female who was here with friends, and we think that she was unalived by them. He started calling around on the 8th and 9th and 10th. Next thing you know, he gets in contact with her friends. He goes on her Facebook page. He goes, all this stuff did this. The video gets to Gerald Jackson around the 13th. And on the 16th, everything went viral. The 19th is when the YouTubers, Black Twitter, everything went crazy for this young lady. So, could we be off on the timelines? Yes. This is just my analysis, my opinion of everything. And I do believe the Cabo 6, hold on. I do believe the Cabo 6 thought they had got away with the perfect demise of a person, but they have not gotten away with this. And also, I wanted to also say this, that, you know, the 19th, during this time, remember, Gerald Jackson got the video, but how did he get the video so quick? That's questioning to me, okay? That is very questioning. Did he know one of them? Did he know this was going to happen? He's suspect because he's got a lot of extortionist charges coming up against him. So I'm wondering what is going on, okay? With that, we need to dig into that as well. So, you guys, I do believe that, you know, this is all going to come to a head. I'm not adding any extras. I'm just sticking to the facts that we know of. We know of as of now, okay? We do know by Mexican authorities that there has been a warrant issued. It has been, the file has been sent to the Interpol. Interpol has done all they needed to do. They have done everything. It is either going to the OIA or either the DOS, that's the Operation of International Affairs, or Department of State. OIA will expedite the extradition. It's not that hard. They can expedite her to be held until all paperwork is officially ready to go. Or it can go to the Department of State. They do the same thing. They make sure that the Interpol has done what they're supposed to do. Once that is sealed and ready to go, it goes to the DOJ. The DOJ then takes it to a Supreme Judge, say, look, the DOS, the Interpol, and OIA, all this stuff has been approved. We need an arrest warrant for these people or this person. Then that person, name goes on the warrant. They give the warrant to the FBI agents. They go detain the person, okay? They are held until they are ready to be extradited, okay? Or the OIA can say, go get this person, hold them until all this paperwork, because they are a flight risk. They left Mexico knowing what they did. You think they won't leave this country, trying not to? But they got a red file on them. They can't go nowhere. All right. So anyway, you guys, this is my thoughts of a rundown of what's going on thus far. Tell me what you think. If you think it's in where it's supposed to be, let me know. Like, share the video, comment below, please. Join the channel, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Have a good one.